So good evening all. I think it is 8 o'clock. So we will try to start this town hall, which is virtual for the chair-elect candidates of 2023. So first of all, I would like to welcome all the members present here to this particular town hall. So can you go to the next slide? Yeah, the town hall format is like this. A welcome and format overview by me, who happens to be the nomination chair. Then opening statement from the candidates, 5 minutes each, so they can sort of present their whatever the statements, which I think I have already told what might be the pointers which can be covered, which will be of interest for the members. So the second thing is already we have sent 2 questions in advance to the candidates. So 2 minutes will be given per question to be answered by the candidates. So basically, in order to give a fair chance, the sequence will be alphabetical order followed at the beginning, and then subsequently it will be alternated. So that's how the whole thing, the sequence will be reversed because only 2 candidates are there. So that's the format which will be followed. So that is also a policy of IEEE which has to be done to give a fair chance for the candidates. The other thing is the closing statements from the candidates. So 3 minutes per candidate will be given, and then subsequently will closing remarks will be done by me. So that this is the format of the whole thing. So now after the opening statement might be if the other candidate wants to make a comment or an input or whatever the thing, he can be given little time. So that is the format which is normally followed. That's what I saw in the societies as well as the president town halls, which has happened. So with that as a base, I've picked up this particular thing, and we intend to finish on time. That is the major thing what I wanted to sort of convey. Next slide. So all attendees actually can switch off their mics, and then the questions can be sort of posted on the chat. Other than the two advanced questions what we have posted, if something has to be sort of clarified or answered. And as per the IEEE policy, each candidate will be asked the same question. So it is not a different question. Both the candidates has to answer the same question in whatever the version or inputs they want to give. And this will be recorded and put on the section website. So that's the thing. So I request all the members present here to convey and propagate also that everybody should vote. That is the major thing. So this is one request from the nomination committee I just had. Okay, before going to the next thing, I just thought as an introductory thing, I just wanted to give some pointers. As everybody knows who are here, and the candidates also of the chair-elect also knows that IEEE Bangalore section is one of the vibrant sections which is worldwide recognized. So that is one pointer. The other thing is, however, any awards or accolades will be based on the total membership of that particular section or a OU. So I think that becomes an important point to be looked at. So the other thing is the data point, what I just wanted to give so that the people can dwell on that particular thing when they are sort of doing. As of now, the Bangalore section count is 11,000 plus. That is the thing. And we are almost ending 2022. The other input, what I just wanted to give is in 2016 and 17, the leadership of Bangalore section had come out with a target for the Bangalore section, which is called as 25,000 in 2025. That was the thing which was sort of done. However, because of the pandemic, we have lost around 2 years. So the section membership growth is at an average of during the pandemic year, it was around 7.5%, and The current year it is running around 9.5% growth. So if you take the same growth of 9.5%, so at 2025, our membership, if it is linearly taken, it will be around 15,700. So these are some of the data points which I just wanted to give before we start. The other thing is last year we started this particular process of chair elections. The voting percentage was very weak. It was less than 15%. So these are some of the inputs I just wanted to give to the candidates as well as the people who are present so that they can take up this particular thing seriously and participate in this particular thing. So this is what I just wanted to start with. Okay, can we go to the next slide, Changappa? Okay, so now this will be the sequence of opening statements from the candidate. Dr. Chandrakant goes for 5 minutes, and then there'll be a 1 minute for Srinivas to sort of make comment or any inputs or anything, whatever the thing, if it is there. If it is not there, also fine. So then subsequently, Srinivas goes with for 5 minutes, and a similar thing happens. Chandrakant can give any inputs or whatever his comments. Okay. So we'll go now for 5 minutes of Chandrakant. Please, Chandrakant.
Thank you. I'll very much, sir. I'll just share my slide. Hope this is visible.
Yes.
Thank you, Changappa. So to start with, sir posed very difficult questions to the the toughest question to the humanity, that who am I? And being an engineer, I wanted to break down that into a workable solution. So I thought I'll write it as about me. So I am working in ISRO for more than 21 years, and I have the opportunity to lead a team in many missions. And I was fortunate that I could take the Indian-made object to the farthest in the universe, that is the MOM, that is 400 million kilometers from Earth. And I also worked for the Moon Impact Probe that landed on the surface of the Moon on 2008. So that carried my antenna. And of course, I also designed the corresponding antennas in Chandrayaan 1 and 2. And also, I had the opportunity to work on the largest antenna that was built on Indian soil, that is IDSN 32. Some of the glimpse you can see in the bottom. And I have worked for 25 spacecraft, 7 ground station, and was nominated for a course in ISU France. And I have my contribution was recognized by my office as well as by IET. And in the field of basic research, I am also an active researcher. You can see the statistics here. And my citations of my work, it's good, and it's still increasing in numbers every year. And in IEEE transactions, I have published 30 papers, and in letters, IEEE letters, that is 10, and in my magazine, that is 7. And other journals like IET, MOTL, all these things put together 10, and in total 147. I also have supervised 3 PhD theses and 2 MTech theses. And I became the fellow of INE at the age of less than 45. Also, I have been this year identified as a top 2% in the world's leading researchers by Elsevier. So, so this volunteering experience with respect to IEEE, I am an active member of IEEE. Anyway, from the 2017, I am an active member of the section, and I am holding or held many important portfolio like TCS, Chapter Coordination Chair, Joint Secretary, Vice Chair, and as on today I am Vice Chair of Technical Activities. And of course, I am also associated with the APMTT Joint Chapter as a Secretary and Vice Chair. And I am instrumental in organizing flagship conferences, that is BHTC, in last 3 years. and Connect for last 3 years, and many conferences like IAM, INCAP, and MapCon for the joint chapter APMTT. I have also conducted many authorship workshops and received many feedback, personalized feedback, that few of them I have put into here. And I led the APMTT chapter to receive the best small chapter in 2022 as a secretary. And I was nominated, I was rather awarded that best volunteers for 2022 second half. And of course, this is the great high point in my career. These are the two, this one and the next one. This is the chapter coordination activity. You can see left side the Connect that grew in 2022 to where 25 of organizational unit of our section participated. While it was in 2020, it was only 15. So it is consistently growing, and it is for this next year work, Connect work in progress. And when I took over in right side below, you can see the chapter coordination activity. In May 2008, only first meeting, 15 members were present representing 9 chapter. And that year, only 16 chapters reported their finances and their activities. Whereas when I brought it in 2020, it was 36 members. You can see they are present in a meeting representing 25 chapters, and 26 out of 29 chapters they submitted their reports to the section. So I am always striving for the excellence, and in all the activities that I have undertaken, so that can be a signature for me. And position statement, that value education in disciplinary technology and soft on environment is the demand of the day. So, and at the same time, NEP is also coming up in a big way. So new graduates and first generation learners will be coming up. So we have to devise our policy according to them, according to the situation, to embrace them in our mainstream. So we have to reach out to the and to support the goal of the section, that is to 25,000 members in by 25. We cannot dig into the known soils. We have to explore outside the main city and go to the remote areas where we can have a large potential. And my main this one will be to make Bangalore as a among the top 3 in the global scenario. And IEEE should provide a neutral platform to the industry and academia to handshake over the purview of the NEP. And in the humanitarian activity, BHTC, that is Humanitarian Technology Conference, should become a strong platform. And of course, we have to pursue the members to go to the rural institute and different district of the Karnataka, such that we can tap the potential to increase the members. And of course, we have to showcase our fellow in major industry events, such that the traction with the industry also increases. And in this pursuit, my vision is excellence through the flexibility and harmony. And you can see the 2 of the emblem, that is one in the midday meal scheme and one is IIT Kharagpur emblem. So there is a lot of gap that has to be covered, and IEEE has to play a meaningful role in bridging that gap. And of course, in another front, I always believe in that we have to be an inclusive society, such that different thoughts and different type of intellectual capacity should be respected. It is respected, there is no doubt about that, but it has to be increased, such that when different domain of people interact, actually these photographs have some quite significance between them. Like Vivekananda and Nauroji Tata, when they traveled in a ship, they talked about, they dreamed about IISc, that has been fructified later. And Rabindranath Tagore wrote the recommendation of his PhD for Dr. Vikram Sarabhai for Cambridge. So that is the sort of handshake we should have among the different people in the society. And this should be the closing statement. So with that, I guess I have completed my part of initial this one. So Chengappa, if I am done, so you can take over. Thank you very much.
Bindu sir, over to you.
Yeah, Srinivas, any comments or input?
Very nice. No more comments.
Okay, so Chandrakant has taken 9 minutes. So I just thought, okay, since it was interesting, let it go on. So you are also given 9 minutes, Srinivas. So you can go ahead with that.
So
Go
I
ahead.
think I am audible. Is it? Not. I am audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then it's okay, fine. Mr. Chandrakant, can you please launch my slide?
Sure. Yeah.
I think Dr. Srinivas, your voice is feeble. You can come closer to the mic.
Yeah, I think I'm in some very remote place. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Professor Srinivas from IEEE Bangalore, section standing for the chair elect of IEEE Bangalore section. A few slides about myself.
Come a bit closer to mic. Can you come closer to mic?
Yeah. A few slides about myself and my activities and my opinions and plans for the IEEE Bangalore section. Let us go to the next first slide, please. So this is about me. I had studied in BSc Honors in Hyderabad and integrated ME and PhD in IISc, and had been a postdoctoral researcher in Toyohashi, Japan for about 4 years. Then I came back and joined as a faculty here. So I worked in photonic integrated circuits, that's my research area, and have guided 35 research scholars and published about 150 papers, about 50 in transactions and about 100 in the conferences. So a lot of service I have been doing to the ISC in terms of the admissions and so on and so forth. And I have handled several projects of national importance. I've been the chairman of GATE for 4 years. Then I have been in the National Board of Accreditation and reviewed several papers, theses, and so on. And so I was in the project review committees, then conference committees. I have visited a few countries abroad on my technical assignments, and I represented India in BRICS working group on photonics. This is briefly about my professional experience. Let us go to the next slide, please. Yeah, this is about my IEEE activities. I had been a volunteer of IEEE since about 2004. I have been a member of IEEE and other societies also, not only IEEE. And in IEEE, I have been since about 1987 when I was a student. And I have been a member of IEEE Photonics Society. Then when I joined as a faculty, I have joined the ComSoc. And recently, I have been a life member of the IEEE HPN. Then I have been an ExCom member in IEEE Bangalore section during 2004 to 16 and handled several technical activities, student activities, chapter coordination, and so on. So I have involved in starting about 30 student branches and about 15 society chapters. I have given about 100 technical talks at various colleges. And I acted as a chair of IEEE Photonics Society, IEEE ComSoc, and coordinated formation of these chapters, and also chapters in other sections in India, and collaborated with a few chapters outside India, like in Russia, Japan, and New Jersey. Then I was in IISc, I was a student branch counselor for several years and started many society chapters in IISc itself, notably the IEEE HKN chapter, and we have got the IEEE University Partnership Program. That's the only one in India, and about 1 in 17 in the globe in the overall. And I supported several activities of IISc conducted by IEEE Bangalore section. That's about my volunteering experience. So let us go to one more slide. So my vision for the section is that we should become a vehicle for IEEE should become a vehicle for technical progress of India. That is my broad objective. We observe that we are lagging behind in many aspects, and there's a lot of competition going on around from different countries. We have to give top priority to a technical excellence. That is the most important thing that is slightly lagging behind in most of our members and in many educational institutions. Through technical activities, workshop, conferences, of course, they have improved a lot in the last couple of decades, but we should bring in much more bigger conferences to India in association with other sections in India and other places. So Bangalore section has to play a lead role in the national, international level in IEEE activities. We should recognize and nominate many of our experienced members for IEEE positions at national and global level. Industry has an important role. Now it has increased more, and I'm happy to note that a lot of industry has come in the last decade. So the student activities need to be streamlined. Of course, a lot of student branches are there. Somewhat happens that we doing a lot of things. We can introduce internships and career support programs. A lot of innovation is possible in this area. So IEEE ExCom members have dual roles to play. One is with their experience, one is with their technical knowledge. So a lot of members have gained a lot of professional experience in the recent times, and of course they have their technical exposure. So we have combined these to enhance the IEEE activities of the Bangalore section. So the membership, of course, has to be improved. A lot more effort is needed, particularly to retain the members. And of course, elevation to senior members has been good, and elevation to IEEE fellows also is getting on well, but much more effort is needed in this direction. Next one, please. So I have specific plans. Actually, the two activities that have been, the questions are being covered in some of these plans. So we have to include lots of technical talks, workshops, conferences, student activities, membership development, industry programs, etc. So we need to make a big database of experts, both local, national, and international, who can support Bangalore section activities. We should restart what is called this local distinguished lecturer program, which has been lying idle for several years. So networking with colleges is an important thing. There's much more potential as a group, and there's a bigger role to play for the industry. So that's how we can include all aspects and all types of members into our bandwagon. And more participation of society chapters is needed, as has been pointed out just now by Chandrakant. The IEEE Connect has been a very good vehicle, and of course we should bring in better papers. That's what I noticed from some of the chapters, some of the societies in the recent, did not get good papers at all. So we have to recognize the volunteers, that is very, very lagging, and experts, and there are a lot of silent spectators, I can say. They are simply listening, but they have a lot more potential. Of course, the finances of the section also has to be optimized for better utility. Those are the main specific plans that I have in mind. And of course, I would like to take everyone along, and there's a lot of advice I have observed. A lot of advice available from many members and senior members and fellows. We should take them along and try to make IEEE Bangalore section the top in the world. That is my target. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas. So any comment, input? Chandrakant?
Thank you very much, sir, and Dr. Srinivas. It's nice to be part of this journey together, and let us see how we can make all of us together. We can make this IEEE a better place for all the budding engineers or the technocrats that are coming up. Thank you very much for your nice presentation. Thank you.
Okay, Changappa, next slide. This was the question which was sort of, there were some 3-4 questions which came, and we thought that we'll compress it and make into one thing, which ultimately the outcome is what is being measured. I think initially I started off with how the section will be sort of weighed, and awards and accolades will be based on mainly the membership count. So I just wanted Srinivas now first to go. So what are your thoughts on inclusive growth? We have to do something sustainable, because all disruptive might sort of land up in sort of a different scenario. So what is your plans for the sustenance effort, and some disruptive also we have to do? So first Srinivas, then the same question, 2 minutes.
Towards growth of the membership of our section. An important thing that we have noticed, of course, there are a lot of members are joining, etc. But an important thing is many are not retaining after they finish their BTech, particularly the students. So we need to include the alumni as a part of IEEE activities in most of the colleges. That will enable the existing members to retain once they go out. That has not been tried much. So alumni are scattered at different places. Alumni have got a different important role to play in many other ways, but they could help us to retain the membership. That's an important thing. And many of them are not retaining their membership after they finish going out. So if they are included as a part of the student branch activities, then a lot of membership will be, in fact, that is the major chunk of the membership that we can grow. That's what I feel. In addition to other aspects like including more technical talks, internships, and all those things which I mentioned earlier.
Okay, so any comments from Chandrakant? And then your answer.
No, sir, there is no specific comment to the reply given by Dr. Srinivas.
Oh, you can go ahead with the answer.
So I'll again go back and share my slide. Can you answer? Yeah, actually, I thought that all the presentations will be in same sequence, so I have made it in that way. Anyway, to answer to that question, so first questions, that to sustain the membership or to attain the 2025 by 2025 the 25K, as I have mentioned in my vision document also, that we have to reach the underserved areas, because the rate of means whatever we invest and the return on the investment, it means that cost of investment increases for a small return in the area where we have already cultivated. So we have to go to the underserved area where they really need the support. So and we have to increase the representation in the execom and empowering the local leadership. So some of the initiative was taken few years back, like identifying the focal point area wise, district wise. So maybe we have to put see them in a new light, such that that can be formally incorporated into the things. And of course, we have to talk to the policymakers in the state and maybe autonomous institutions, where the volunteering activities that the students put forward can be counted as some credit point, because that matters in the given situations. And of course, we have to take humanitarian technology initiatives under BHTC to a different level in the sense it should reflect into the ground. It should not get restricted into the conferences or in the this one into the dialogues into the auditoriums only. So that has to go into this one, and added to that the few initiatives that has been started last years. So those also has to be increased, such that the people at the ground, they feel that their value is considered, and then only they will be part of IEEE, such that they can contribute to the system, and they also can grow together. So that is my thought on this question.
Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Any input or comment from Srinivas on the reply, first reply?
That's good. I think very nice.
Yeah. Okay. So can we go to the second question? Changappa, second question. Yeah. What are your plans for increasing the value add for all types of members? So this, I think, in a way you just mentioned, but what is the exact plan you would like to sort of, if there is anything in your mind? So Srinivas goes first, and then I think Srinivas went first last time. So Chandrakant goes this time first. Chandrakant, you go first.
Yeah. To come to the second point, to keep to reach to the all members, it's really difficult for only the execom of the Bangalore section. So, but execom can definitely enable that process. So in that process, society chapters and student branches has to be mandated or enabled or whatever possible way to take the initiative to make all the members inclusive, because most of the members are attached to some of the student branch or society. So their activities, or we should come very close like we are coming together. They should not be running in isolation. And for the student member and graduate student members and members, that is the place where we take most of the most of the people into the IEEE fold. So they have to be made that this is their organization. Most of them, they make a mistake that I have taken the membership, so IEEE should come to us. So for that, we have to have orientations programs for the newly inducted or who are interested to know. Maybe every alternate month we have to run that one in different form, maybe hybrid mode or whatever it is, to make them feel it is their organizations and they are free to do whatever activity they can plan. Because now already we are, as you are mentioning, that already you have 11K members, and if you have to service to maybe 25K members, it is individually not possible. So they have to take the initiative. So we have to plan our activity in that direction. And the other grade of members, that is senior members and above. So I see the ratio of senior members and other members, it is 1:10. So if we senior members and above grade members, they already have seen the value. So uh, they don't need that sort of motivation to be within the IEEE forum, but they can be a very good resource person. So we may call a meeting or some forums as that we can discuss what is the way they can contribute. At least they can, if they are reaching say 30-40 people, if senior member and above grade people, so it will reach to all the people, all the members of the section. And of course, the orientations for elevation to higher grades for all type of membership, that has to be there. And as we are having the programs like simple and fine, and those are beautifully crafted programs, maybe those has to be organized frequently. So these are the thought process that I was thinking, and all these things in addition to the conferences and technical talks that we are doing. So that also we have to do vigorously, nothing to specifically to mention about that. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. So, Srinivas ji, Professor Srinivas.
I have a straightforward thought on this aspect. I will divide into three broad categories of members that we should plan. So first is the students. The value for the students will come through support for their projects, for their higher education, and now it is the era of internships. These are the three important aspects that we should create a proper mechanism so that the students are helped. Then the next important category are the faculty members, who are almost like a silent members, like what I mentioned earlier. So they have a lot of potential and they could be the mentors and they could get a lot of value. Recognizing them through their expertise is an important aspect. A lot of faculty members can be already who are there like branch counselors, but many of the other faculty members in the college are almost silent. So we should tap their potential to help both the students and the next category of the important members, the industrial personnel. In the case of industrial personnel, we should have international collaboration. That's where the industry can grow, and lot more innovation and growth is possible. In fact, when I presented that we should use IEEE to internationalize, this is where I have the things in mind. We should tie up with international companies so that our companies can grow. That is the main thing, but a lot of interrelations between these two categories of members can be brought in so that we will get maximum benefit for all the members. That's what is my thought.
Yeah. So I think any comments is there, or will
From me, sir?
you only?
Yeah. It's yeah. He has touched upon few other points. That's what I also wanted to convey that. And thank you very much for your input, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Changappa, any questions in the chat? Other than these two questions.
No, not yet, sir.
So I would request Puneet if he is there. Any question from your side, and Keshav, because we are the nomination members. So
Yeah,
any
thank you.
specific question?
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I have question for both the candidates. I would like to know, both of you are very matured and seasoned volunteers. and you may be seeing that there is always problem of retention in the membership, especially with respect to the students. So what are your plans and thoughts with respect to the membership retention, especially with respect to the students? And secondly, I am seeing even with the new members who are joining, they are leaving IEEE within a year or two with respect to the professional members. So how you are going to tackle this problem?
Yeah, first, I think Chandrakant can go.
Thank you, Puneet, for putting forward the very difficult or important question. And being a part of the system for last many years, I understand the gravity of your question. And I have already touched upon that aspect that when I or somebody new who takes the membership of IEEE, the feeling that he gets, I will sit at home and all the benefits should come to me. So we should vigorously run a program where we can make them feel that it is there. The IEEE organization is running by them, for them. And so that that thought process should be put into their mind, the new members, whoever is coming. So instead of, and sometime what happens, we should allow little bit more time to the student to think over and join IEEE, because initial days, if we take the membership of students, like when they comes to college, so they may not understand few things, and they are taken the membership, then they'll not be involved into those activities very much, so they'll lose the interest. That money also sometime, though it is a very small amount for student membership, but that also matters for many people. So if we allow them some time, that okay, 3 months, 4 months, after that they become members, so that is a very novel way of doing it, because then if the first year you may not be getting the number of students that are joining as of now, but whoever are joining after 3 years, so they'll most likely they'll continue. So in second year onwards, you'll start getting the dividend. First year, of course, it will take a hit. Or if you have some 100 people are joining, so that first year maybe some 60% will be joining. But that 60%, out of that 60%, maybe 50 will retain their membership because they understood IEEE and then they have taken that on. So maybe the recruitment cycle also a little bit I want to retune with respect to the academic calendar when it is starting. So those are the two things. And for so if we can propagate in this two direction, a two-pronged approach, if we can take, so I think that it will be possible to retain the membership to a large extent. Thank you.
Okay, Srinivas.
Yeah, I would address in a two ways. One is from a student and one is from the faculty members' point of view. For the time being, I will ignore the industry members. So the students, once they graduate, they are not renewing. That's an important problem we face. I mentioned in the beginning that we should involve alumni in the activities of the student branches. That is going to be an important thing. Once they see that their expertise later is also recognized, then they will try to retain. I think it may little bit, I mean, it may take long time, but it's a good way to retain the membership from the students. Then the other important members, regular members, only a very few. I have already mentioned that the faculty members are not active; they are more silent. So if you give more importance to them, they are more likely to, because they have long term in their college or wherever, they are more likely to retain the membership, and their services also will be useful. And through them, the students also will get motivated. And also, it also implies when some faculty member is a member, we can make them, depending on their experience, etc., they can become senior members and they see more value to the membership. And then they can motivate the students also and outgoing students also. So it is a proper three-pronged or approach where we can use to create some more value to the members as well as retain the membership. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. So Keshav, if he's there, Keshav.
Keshav is not there, so I will take liberty to ask one more question on behalf of him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So, Mike, I have two different questions with both the candidates. One,
No. Only one question, common question it should be.
no, actually, this question is based on the presentation, but okay, I will combine the things.
Yeah, you combine. It is a single question, both will answer.
Yeah, okay. So, Dr. Chandrakant and Dr. Srinivas, I saw in your presentation wonderful things are there. Especially one thing I can see with respect to the inclusiveness, both have talked. And somewhere I saw that it is written that you will ensure that local representation or the representation from the remote areas will be ensured. And the second thing is industry participation, industry academia collaboration. So my question is how you will ensure participation from the underserved areas or the remote areas, as well as what are your plans for industry academia collaboration?
Srinivas.
Yeah. I would like to mention the first part. See, an important way in which we have to reach the local people is through their local language. So we should have the programs where they can understand. If we have the technical programs in their local language, they are more likely to understand and appreciate. Then about the industry and academic collaboration, we should try to catch hold of the placement officer. Most of the colleges have got the placement officers, and a lot of industry come to them. If we associate them appropriately, faculty and the industry, then it will be very, very helpful for the industry academic cooperation. Right now, they are disjoint. The industry just come for the placement, and the placement, the colleges are just worried about their students' placement. So there's no connection with the technical excellence or professionalism and all those things. So it can also diversify the jobs that our students get.
Yeah, Chandrakant.
Yeah, so with respect to the inclusiveness, what Puneet just put forward is, in my close associations, I have, and many of them are present here. I can see I always talk of a program that we give a quota to each of the members who are actively, or the execom members, that they have to travel 1,000 kilometers in their 1 year. So in what direction they want to travel, and out of that 1,000 kilometers, one should be at least some 300 kilometer one way. So once that type of goals are set for the members, so they will be encouraged to reach the remote place of the Karnataka and all the district. So that is one of the program that I have in my mind. And to ensure that representation of those remote, this one representative into the main Bangalore section. Nowadays, Bangalore section slate committee gives enough opportunity to include those people, because there are 50% members that can be co-opted. So I'd like to, it may take couple of years, maybe 1 or 2 years to revive that old system. And maybe in my tenure, I'll try to, if I am elected, of course, include few of them, at least 5-6 of them, into the execom, such that they get directly connected to the mainframe system, and they take the benefits of the section to those places directly. And with respect to industry, there is no bigger way than to invite them to share their expertise and to the students or the needy people. And of course, for the students, to take them to the required person for the mentorship or the internship or whatever it is. So that a strong collaborating platform has to be devised for both the sections. And for the first section, I have already chalked out that how to reach to the remote area. And industry, it is going on. I understand this is going on, but it has to be, its vigor has to be increased, maybe manifold, maybe one order better. So that's what is my thought.
Okay, I think Changappa says that there are some questions in the chat.
Yeah,
I think the reply can be one-liner, because I think most of the things are covered. But if it is a one-liner, it will be easier. Okay, Changappa, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you. So this is a question from Mr. Kundan, who wants to know what are your goals for increased funding support for student branches, especially concerning the technical chapters. Also, student branch funding has come significantly down over the years.
Chandrakant.
Yeah, thank you very much for the questions. That funding has come down probably maybe due to two reasons. Virtually organizing the event, so cost itself has come down, and in few cases I understand that there are some issues with respect to bank account opening the banks and all, but we are always open to funding the students branch. I guess I remember vaguely that the funding whatever we support to the student branch, it close to 15 lakh around, if I am not very much off, kindly correct me. So, and we always wants to increase that one to whatever number it possible. So there is no doubt in funding in that aspect, of course, as my understanding goes. Yeah.
Okay, Srinivas.
Yeah, my comment is just we have to give. That's all. Depending on the demand, let them write what they want to do, and we can do, and later on we can evaluate whether they are doing or not. If they do better, we can give more.
Yeah. Anything else, Changappa? Changappa?
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. I see another couple of questions coming in, but one is more of an operation question. So anyway, I will read it out. So one, it's from Dr. Kumar Swami, who wants to know that if the alumni of the student branch can be included in their current operations or executions.
Okay, that we can
Yeah.
take it offline.
Right. Yeah. So the next one is from Dr. Devnathan, who wants to know what are the plans to bridge the gap between academia and student branch and industry through professional activities of IEEE, which is the need of the hour being the new education policy.
Yeah, I think that is covered. So I think that is already covered. There is no point going revisiting that particular thing. Both are
Right.
covered.
So I don't see any more questions. To be fair, I just read out all the questions that I see on the chat.
May
Okay.
I ask one question, Alok here?
Yeah, look.
Yeah, just a question. That industry, corporations, they have this IEEE membership. So a lot of research things, they have those materials, and they are also participating into webinars and other things. Beyond these two things, if you have to pitch one thing to the industry professionals, why should they become IEEE member? What would that be?
So Srinivas, one-liner.
Yeah, we have to connect them with their counterparts abroad. That will greatly enhance their value.
Okay, Chandrakant.
I suggest them that society has given you enough. Please come to the society and give something back.
Okay, I think we'll go ahead with our format. So the next is the closing remarks or the closing statement by the candidates. So this Chandrakant goes first and then Srinivas. Make it as short as possible. So I think the points are all covered. So what is that closing statement you would like to say?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, is my slide visible?
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay, this is my favorite slide. I share maybe few places. So ultimately, we have to build a culture of engineering, culture of education, culture of technology, whatever it is, or social, maybe in your real vision, means art and culture, whatever it is. So I shared this one that you may be knowing that couple of years back, one almost unknown Indian team won the won the test match series in Australia, and most of the figures was not known that time. So what was there behind? He was a great person who was leading the helm of the activities, technical activities, under 19 team A. So there is a very big system was into the background running, and it was being driven by BCCI. So we have to build a new India. So that is our target. There is no doubt about it. And it should be inclusive. It should be whatever it is. So that inclusive all this comes from the Sustainable Development Goals that is nicely put forward by United Nations. So there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So if we can focus on them, so I think no part of the development aspects remain untouched. And the new parameter or new tool that has come to our fold is NEP. So that gives a lot of flexibility. And of course, here also some great teachers are needed. So student bunch, counselors, and all the chapters, chairs, and all these leaders, they can play a significant role. And IEEE can be, support that system, that support system. It can be laid down by IEEE by providing a neutral platform that is very important to the industry, academia engagement. And of course, all these things, technical talks are culminated into papers, and instead of a few papers here and there from a top institute, I used to see many papers. And awareness of the societal problems to the passing students, those are passing out, at least let them know these are the problems. They need not immediately attack them, because if it is there in their mind, sometime or other they will come back to that problem. So of course, increase the involvement of the fellows and industries, and the technique, and take the technical capital to the rural system as far as possible. So that is what I am looking forward to, building a culture that will be the base of our new India. So with that, I think I am done in that aspect.
Srinivas?
Yeah, I have one mantra for IEEE. So technical excellence through networking is the important mantra for IEEE and Bangalore section in particular. Then the other one is we can say that IEEE is the best vehicle for technical progress of our country. Those are the two important points I would like to conclude. So the first one is technical excellence through networking, and then IEEE being a vehicle for technical progress of our country.
Okay. So I think I would like to thank both the candidates for sort of answering your question. What are the questions which were sort of ad hocly taken or live taken, as well as the questions which were advancedly sent. I think they have covered the length and breadth of whatever the things were required. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, anyway, this is these two things I would like to sort of make an appeal, but I was just trying to sort of make always an analysis of the data which is present. If we see today, around 6% of our voting members only have attended. That's very, very this one, right? I mean, it is a very, very small number. Six, I don't think so. Six also, around 30 participants are there. That is one thing which I just thought it's a data point. So I request from our nomination committee members also, we would like to publicize more and make the people participate in this particular thing. I request the candidates also to sort of publicize and try to sort of make sure that the members get into this particular space. The other thing, what pointers I just wanted to give is the voting begins on 26/11/2022 at 12 midnight, and then subsequently it goes on till the 16th of December, again till the midnight sort of thing. So I request all the voting members to make sure that you cast your vote. The only one statistics what I just wanted to give is, I think I mentioned initially also, our voting percentage was less than 15%, but somehow I saw somewhere the presidential election and other might be IEEE Computer Society, which was lesser than 15%. So we can say that, okay, we started the first year, it was 15%, which is good. So we would like to sort of take it to a next level this year. So I request all the members present here to sort of publicize this particular thing and ask all the members to participate in this. So I would like to thank all the members who are present in this particular thing. And this recording will be uploaded in the section website. So the others can sort of have a look at what the chair-elect 2023 candidates are, what is there in stock for 2023 and 2024 from their side. Thank you and all the best for the candidates. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you everybody. As sir told, please vote. Please do vote and make sure that your friends also vote. Thank you very much.
Chengappa, we can close. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Good night. All the best to the candidates.